show before the free show. No, that's not your mic. That is your mic.
We're starting off 2025 hot, which is just figuring out how to do this show again. Because it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and Pickle's been on one. It's been crazy. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome into Texas Football Today. This is the 10th year we've done this, like the 10th calendar year that we've done this show.
Oh, wow.
Like, think about that. Like, there was something about, what was it? I think it was LeBron. It's like LeBron played a game as a teenager, and he also played a game as a 40, like in his 40s.
I mean, he's playing in the league with his son.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of wild. Anyway, let's get to a little bit of a weekend around. Christmas came. We had Christmas. A lot of Christmas. And then New Year's came. But I want to focus specifically on this past weekend. Because this past weekend was a very special weekend in the life of one Ashley Pickle. Because folks may not know this. Every podcast is somebody's first. Ashley's getting married.
Correct.
You're getting married in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Getting married in 2 weeks. And as is tradition in American culture, you had a bit of a get-together this weekend.
We did. It was my bachelorette party.
Your bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
And some familiar faces, people that folks may know, joined you. Vina Moreno was there.
Correct.
Mallory Hartley was there.
Correct.
Texas Football Today's own Aspen was there.
Correct.
Texas Football Today's own. Has Randy been on the show?
No, Randy's never been on the show. She's been up to the office, but she hasn't been on the show.
We can fix that. But yeah, there's a lot of familiar faces. And where'd you guys go?
We went to New Orleans.
You went to New Orleans.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got a little worried that we weren't going to be able to make it out there.
Yeah.
Just a tragedy happening out there. The day before I guess kind of Tuesday.
Wednesday, super early morning.
Yeah, correct.
Terrible.
And we flew out on Thursday, so there was a moment where we didn't know if we were going to be able to make the trip, which in the light of everything that happened, wouldn't have been the end of the world by any means, but it would have been sad.
Yeah, but all things considered, you guys were able to make it there, and everyone was safe, and you guys ended up having a good time. You guys got an Airbnb.
We did, yeah. Airbnb. The girls planned the whole thing, so Mallory did a bunch of the heavy lifting.
She's your maid of honor, to be clear.
Correct.
Yeah.
Another friend, Kelsey, did a huge chunk of it, but they planned everything. So I didn't really know until a week before what we were doing. But it was a lot of fun. We one of the coolest parts, we went on a swamp tour.
A swamp tour.
It rocked. So we were on like the fan boat thing that you see out there. Hour and a half long swamp tour. Saw an alligator. Saw baby alligators.
Oh.
Toothless. She was missing some of her front teeth, but Toothless, she had some babies, and so we saw about 6 little baby alligators, a lot smaller than I thought they were going to be. So that was a lot of fun. We went to a New Orleans Pelicans game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had club tickets there, so that was really sick. The Pels hooked us up. We got a photo down on the court at the end of it.
Nice.
So yeah, basketball, Gators.
Your
normal bachelorette
party. But I wanna pivot now
to more normal bachelorette
to
party
more
things.
Normal bachelorette parties, because you guys were there Thursday night and then Friday night.
Friday night we did the game, the basketball game,
and then Saturday night. And Saturday night, the big night. You guys are going out one last time, and oftentimes, I've seen this. Bachelor and bachelorette parties will have a theme. Maybe everybody will get dressed up in a certain way. Maybe everybody I've seen bachelor parties where all the dudes wear Hawaiian shirts or something like that. Did you guys have a theme?
We did.
Okay.
Dolly.
Wow.
So we dressed up as Pitbull.
Every member of your crew dressed up as Pitbull.
We sure did.
That's you in the back, second from left.
Yeah, correct.
That's Pickle.
V&A
left
and Mallory are in front
V&A.
of me.
Mallory Hartley, you will see pointing at the camera directly.
Correct.
It's hard. Like, I know all these people, but it's very hard to distinguish who is who.
Yes.
When you're all dressed as Mr. 305.
Yeah. Aspen she's the one in the white shirt right there. She had an actual like little stick-on patch of hair. The rest of us just kind of drew it on. So she went all out with that, which was a lot of fun. Pitbull's real name, for those of you who don't know, is Armando. So V&A claimed that she was Armando. That was V's big thing. Anytime she would walk in, she would say, "Armando is here."
I will just say this. Correct me if I'm wrong. She's the only Latina member of your crew there.
Yes. I have another bridesmaid who is also a Latina, Danny, but she had to leave prior to Pitbull night. She had big girl things to get back to.
So in this group, V&A is the only Latina.
She's Armando,
which means she can claim
Armando.
She got first dibs on Armando.
Correct.
Okay.
It was an absolute blast. It said a lot about the girls that I surround myself with, that they weren't sad about not putting on. I feel like a normal bachelorette party, you kind of do the heels and, little outfits and all that stuff. My crew was rolling up in bald caps, and I would like to think that we were the life of the party.
How well received was it when you guys took to the streets?
I felt like Greg Tepper, because we had people asking us for pictures left and right. There was one other time that we were in a place, and we turned around, and there was another bachelorette party that was dressed up like the Founding Fathers. And so I got to meet the bride, and we took, I should have sent you that photo, but we took a massive group photo, and it was the Founding Fathers and all of the Mr. Bulls. We saw them at the airport the next day. We were on the escalator, and one girl goes, "Hey, are y'all the Founding Fathers?" And they just kind of looked at us because they didn't know what we looked like. We had bald caps on and sunglasses, and we said, "We're Pitbull."
Oh my God.
So it was fantastic, genuinely fantastic.
Brian, if I may speak directly to you.
It's not. Do not run, please.
2 weeks, buddy.
Dale.
We'll see you a week from Saturday.
Look, if there's one thing I can say, that man's never going to be bored. Okay, he will never be bored.
That is for damn sure. All right, hit the theme expo.
Oh goodness, I wasn't even prepared.
Oh,
I was so pumped about Mr.
Oh,
Bull. Dale.
God. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show that survived the holidays. My name is Greg Tepper. I am the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting here in the year of our Lord 2025. Sitting over there in the year of our Lord 2025. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. Truly Miss 305. She's Ashley Pickle. And I can only call you Ashley Pickle for like 2 more weeks.
This is true. We made it. We're here.
We did.
Oof.
Yeah. It's touch and go there for a minute.
It's just, I got a lot of stuff to get done in the next 2 weeks.
Are you, okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to, you don't want to wish away time. I get that.
No.
But if you could snap your fingers right now and it's the day after the wedding, would you do it?
No.
No. You want the grind.
I'm excited.
You're excited for the grind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's a healthy place to be.
Yeah.
Because, I will tell you this, and maybe if this is what you want down the road, with, when my wife was pregnant with the boys,
Mm-hmm.
it does reach a point where you're like, I'm done.
Yep.
Like, okay, I'm ready
Yeah.
for this just to be over.
I think that will hit next week.
Probably.
Next week, I think, is when it'll hit. Right now, I'm still okay. Maybe I'm going off the high of being Mr. Bull.
Maybe. And who wouldn't be high off that? Today is Monday, January 6th, 2025. It is 325 days till Thanksgiving. It is not the birthday of Mr. Bull, but it is the birthday of Mr. Bean. Happy birthday to Rowan Atkinson.
Nice, Bean.
Turned 70 today. It is episode
70?
1000. Yeah.
Wow.
Episode 1823. On today's show, folks, we're back. Very back. And we've got some news from across the state of Texas, including something that broke a little after Christmas. We'll have to talk about Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year. Then we will be joined by Greg Powers for This Week in Recruiting as we get to the latest news and notes from the recruiting trail, because we know recruiting never sleeps across the nation. We'll have all that rounded all out with final thoughts coming up here at the back half of the program. So if you got some questions, get those in there. We can get into a little bit of that there on Facebook and YouTube. Get your questions in there. Do we have first four through the door for the first of 2025?
We sure do. It was Lyle Good, jersey number 69,
Nice.
Ed McElroy, and we've got to go to Facebook, Ryan Smiga. Welcome in, fellas.
Friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. I have gone the last 2 weeks without knowing what day it is.
Yeah.
Like what day of the week. Let me tell you something. Wednesday holidays need to be outlawed.
Yes.
That is absolutely not. Absolutely
like
not.
it.
I have not known, like, it was Friday this past week, and, like, we had, like, a birthday party or something to go to, and my wife was like, hey, like, you know, we've got Rihan's thing today. And I'm like,
oh, Rihan, happy birthday.
I'm like, what? Really? Like, that's today?
I could tell you what number day. Like, I could tell you,
Yeah.
it's the 2nd.
Mm-mm.
I could not tell you what day of the week it
No.
was.
No, time enters a vacuum.
Thursday did not exist, but the 2nd did in my brain.
That week between, especially Christmas and New Year's, it's just like it's a swamp of just nothingness. Anyway, let's get to some news from across the state of Texas. We will start with something that broke a little after Christmas, and that is that we named the 2024 Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year, the most prestigious honor in Texas high school football. It is, of course, it's the Heisman Trophy of Texas high school football, handed out by Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You may remember last year, the winner of the award was DJ Lagway, who went on to do great things at the University of Florida. The year before that, the winner of the award was Terry Bussey, who is doing great things at Texas A&M. Previous award winners include Kyler Murray, Johnny Manziel, Jonathan Brooks, Marvin Mims, who had a big game this past week for the Broncos. It's a who's who of Texas high school football stars. But in 2024, after deliberating with the staff, we came to the decision that the 2024 Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year is Adam Schobel, the quarterback from Columbus, who, of course, led the Cardinals to their first ever state championship game appearance and state championship win. I don't mind telling you guys this. So we had the 10 finalists. And going into the state championship games, I think all of us had a list of about 4 or 5 that we had kind of narrowed it down to mentally.
Yep.
And then we were like, okay, and a couple of them were playing in the state championship games. And we were like, let's see what happens. I think all of us came out of that 3A Division I state championship game where Columbus really demolished Malakoff. And I think the conversation we had in the booth there at AT&T Stadium was like, that's him. That's Mr. Texas football.
He played outstanding in every single phase.
He was surgical. And he was all year, by the way. The TCU signee was absolutely spectacular all year long for the Cardinals. Of course, the coach's kid did unbelievable things for them and led them to a state championship. But his impact is far beyond that. I mean, the numbers are obviously, like, impressive. Like, he completed nearly 75% of his passes for 3,734 yards and 55 touchdowns. Okay?
Insane.
He threw just 3 interceptions all year. 3 interceptions all year. And I want you to think about his usage rate and how much they needed him. 3 interceptions all year was remarkable. He also ran for 575 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. So a grand total of more than 4,300 yards and 68 touchdowns to lead Columbus to their first ever state championship. He signed with the TCU Horned Frogs, where his father and head coach Matt Schobel, of course, played before he went on to a decorated NFL career. And yeah, the 4-star prospect. And he got honored at the Kinder's Texas Bowl. Got handed the big trophy.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen the photo, if you've never seen the trophy,
it's massive.
So it's an enormous trophy, but then like the top comes off. So like you just get to hold the top, but then you put the top back on the trophy, and it's when I tell you it's like, you don't know how tall the desk is, but I'm just telling you I'm 6 feet tall and it comes up to about like my shoulders. It's enormous. But anyway, congratulations to Matt Schobel. The 2024 Mr. Texas Football. I'm sorry, Adam Schobel. The 2024 Mr. Texas Football. I called Coach Schobel to let him know, and he was so fired up. He was really, really fired up. And then I called Adam, and he was somehow even more fired up about it. And so, and those are guys who are pretty low key. So to get them fired up, something went right. So, congratulations to Adam Schobel, the 2024 Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year. We do have to report some sad news out of Wichita Falls, and that is that Heath Aldrich has passed away. Heath Aldrich was the athletic director and head football coach at Wichita Falls City View. He died at the age of 40. He had been battling pancreatic cancer for about a year. Had been pretty open about it, but continued his job doing it. But passed away back on December 26th. Passed away in the early morning hours. He leaves behind his wife Michael, his daughter Blake, and his son Harlan. He began his coaching career in 2019. That's his alma mater. He graduated in 2003 from there. And he was also he was the head football coach for the past 2 years. He led them to 16 wins and 2 playoff victories. He also served as the head girls basketball coach there for 5 seasons. I know that he had been very open about his struggles with his health. Mm-hmm. I want to invite you to go check out. I want to make sure I get this right. But it is it's Zach Duncan. If you remember Zach Duncan, he used to write for the Wichita Falls paper there. He now has his own Substack. It's called the Red River Roundup. I subscribe to it. It's excellent. He has a great piece up where he talked with folks around Wichita Falls about their memories of Coach Aldrich. It's really, really good. Go check out the Red River Roundup, Zach Duncan's Red River Roundup Substack for great coverage of that. But Heath Aldrich passed away at the age of 40. Very sad news there. We're certainly thinking about not only the Aldrich family, but the entire City View community up there. There's no really good way to transition out of that, so we'll just kind of have a hard divide here. It is now that football season in high school football rather is over. We are now into coaching change season. Coaching change season is here, and we're going to be keeping you updated on TexasFootball.com as far as all of the major openings around the Texas high school football world. Actually, all the openings, not just the major ones. But there are 2 I want to draw your attention to. One of them is at Temple in Central Texas, where Scott Stewart has stepped down as the head coach there at Temple. He has been the head coach there for 9 years. He has stepped down. That is a major job there in Central Texas. That is a one-school town. That is going to be a job with a lot of applicants. That is a football-crazy part of the state. That is a football-crazy community with high expectations and great pedigree and great talent. And I would expect there to be some high-profile applicants for that job in Temple. That is in many ways, as far as the big school jobs are concerned in Central Texas, that might be the crown jewel job in Central Texas. So keep an eye on that. Temple is open. That's one thing to keep an eye on. The other one that I want to draw your attention to is Lufkin. Go out to East Texas, or really the Piney Woods, as Todd Quick has announced his retirement after 30 years at Lufkin, including the last 13 years there as the head coach. He took over for the late John Outlaw there at Lufkin, did a fantastic job taking over that program, which again is a football crazy part of the state. That's the professional team in Lufkin. In that part of the world is the Lufkin Panthers, that is going to be a very highly sought after job out there in the Piney Woods. Keep an eye on that. That's just the start of kind of the swell. My anticipation is that now that really a lot of schools are going to get back in session tomorrow. A lot of schools have today off, and they're getting back in school tomorrow, in session tomorrow. I would expect this week and next week there to kind of start a flurry of movement as far as Texas high school football coaching changes are concerned. Usually the over-under, about 200 changes. So we will have them all tracked for you at texasfootball.com. So make sure you keep an eye on that one. And finally, I want to draw your attention. We're going kind of back up to the kind of Wichita Falls area. I want to draw your attention to Electra, okay? A little drama going on in Electra. And that is that their job has come open as well. Josh McKitty has announced his intention to resign as head coach and athletic director there. And he was pretty open and honest about why. He told Jonathan Hull at the Times Record News, quote, "Honestly, I have a lack of confidence in our school board to make decisions that make kids the priority. I don't care to have my family involved with this school district because of that, so we will move on down the road," end quote. That's a spicy meatball from a head football coach.
Yeah.
Now, we come across this every once in a while as far as, like, big-time drama in Texas high school football with, like, school boards. This apparently stems from the idea of the superintendent there, Don Hasley. He was the school board held a special meeting to they said they will evaluate him. He could be relieved of his duties at that meeting. And essentially, I believe that McKitty was hired by Hasley, and he's showing loyalty to him. He's saying, "That's my guy." He goes on and says, "Hasley has done a tremendous job for the school district. What's going on now athletically and academically with our success in UI academics, it's night and day since he's become superintendent. It's a shame it's come to this." So now that has trickled down in the football world as Electra has come open, as Josh McKitty has announced his intention to resign there at Electra because of the goings-on and the drama there with the school board. We do get this about 3 or 4 times a year with school board drama. I mean, look, Electra's a small town, right? This is a small town. There's small town drama. You're from a small town.
Yeah, and it's like you can't escape it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not just with kids.
Yeah. He took over the program in 2023. He's gone 11-9 since that. They went to the playoffs for the first time since 2019. He's done a great job, I think, with his Electra program. This is a program that's kind of down in the dumps. He took him the program took him to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years this past year. But now he is going to resign, and Electra will be on the search for a new head football coach because of drama going on in the community there in Electra. So another as the Texas high school football world turns, we're back, baby. The Texas high school football offseason is very much here. There's some news. We are Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football on the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I did mention that. We are going to be here every Monday and Thursday, okay? All year long. Don't worry about that. We're a little blanket for it. We'll be here Mondays and Thursdays talking Texas high school football year-round. Even though it's the off-season, ain't no off-season for us. We got programming for you. I do want to invite you to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. If you want the 2024 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Rising magazine, this beautiful magazine featuring Jonah Williams from Galveston Ball, delivered directly to you. The only way to get it is to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. You can also watch tons and tons of Texas high school basketball right now on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, our streaming platform. If you become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Also helps make shows like this possible if you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Makes a great gift. If you forgot to get your boss a gift, and you're maybe back in the office for the first time, and you forgot to get your boss a gift, can you turn off your phone?
Well, I'm getting comments about the volume. I was trying to make sure it was okay.
I'm trying to sell the people a subscription.
You're not a good salesman.
If you forgot to get your boss a gift, TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll see what kind of New Year's party Greg Powers had for This Week in Recruiting. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
30-yard line, the 20, the 10, touchdown!
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wing's drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Back here on Texas Football Today in 2025, which does sound like the future. 2025 sounds like a futuristic year. Like a lot of futuristic movies in the 80s were set in 2025.
It's because it ends in a 5.
And also, like I will tell you, I didn't know what the future would hold, but I did hope that it would include Greg Powers. And
I've
guess
got
what?
good news for you.
Surprise!
Director of Recruiting,
Hi, Grev.
back for another year. Hey, bud.
Hey,
How are your holidays?
great holidays.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, Texas State championship games into Christmas, into New Year's.
Yeah.
And now, look, I get to sit next to Greg Tepper on
buddy.
the world-famous Texas Football Today.
Buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They had me in the first half, I'm not going to lie.
It's good to have you back. And I think we've got some business to attend. Do you remember how to do this? Okay, you go.
Let's see. Get ready, Pickle.
Oh, yeah, I got him on it.
I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week. How's the volume there? It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends, Chicken Express. Chicken Express, this year, resolved to eat more Chicken Express.
Yeah, if you haven't eaten Chicken Express in 2025, what are you really
You're behind.
doing?
You're behind. Like, your daily recommended allowance of Chicken Express is too low.
We got Chicken Express on New Year's Eve to celebrate
Dang,
the end of a good year. Mhm, yeah,
That is a good year.
Me, Mallory, and Brian went and got Chicken Express.
Dang.
It was awesome.
Yeah, see, my wife and I did Chinese food because we always do Chinese food,
Oh,
and
solid.
now, like, I got out New Year's. Like, I
Yep.
think you sat at home too, right?
No.
Oh, you guys went out?
We went to a party at our friend's house.
So wait a second. You guys ate Chicken Express and then you went out?
Yes.
Dang.
What a combo.
What a combo platter.
That was good.
I ate Chinese food and sat on the couch.
See, I'm going to go ahead and make the case that you could actually put, like, Chicken Express in a Szechuan sauce and it would be excellent.
Dang.
You're not wrong.
Man, you're so next level. He's coming in hot at 2025, folks. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise is Smithson Valley's senior quarterback / athlete, Cade Spradling. And if you want to talk about a guy who I think won over the entire Dave Campbell's Texas football staff of the state championship games with his heroics, he's a new DCTF 3-star prospect. He was spectacular as a quarterback, just a moose running the ball. But you think he profiles on the defensive side, and there are some offers that have rolled in places like Army, Rice, and UTSA, and you think that he's going to end up on the defensive side there.
Yeah, I think he'll end up playing defense at the next level where he can use his high football IQ and, he's a thumper, right?
Yeah.
He runs like a thumper. Man, he made a pretty athletic play in the state championship game with that interception too, kind of flashing his ability as a defensive playmaker. So I think that's probably his best fit at the next level. But who am I to say? Drew Mestamaker has made a believer out of a lot of people this week. So, I mean, some of these guys are developing. John Mateer at Oklahoma was playing wide receiver before he got the call to play quarterback at Little Elm. I think it was his senior year going into his college career at Washington State. He's really thrived now that he's taken that on, full bore. But that being said, give me 6'2", 200-pound dude like Cade Spradling, who understands how to read and diagnose plays. Sign me up. I can see why he's getting offers. And that's why I made him a 3-star. I think he could play I think he's a 3-star linebacker.
I think he made so many big plays in that state championship game. Offensively, he really took but like, make no mistake, he was playing both ways at the 5A level, which just is you just don't see very much, like, plain and simple.
And that's like a historic state championship run.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So capped off a remarkable career, and I don't think Smithson Valley gets to where they ended this season without a guy like him.
No, absolutely not. And he was absolutely terrific in that state championship game, and a huge reason why the Rangers are the 5A Division I state champs, and why he's got offers starting to roll in here. A name to know as we roll on. Let's roll on to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, we're going to Austin LBJ to talk about their 2026 defensive back, Yaheem Riley, a defensive back that's Jermaine Bishop, but he committed this week to Houston. He had offers from places like Baylor, TCU, Tech, Arizona State, Stanford, Utah, etc. But a guy in Yaheem Riley who was spectacular for the Jaguars all year long, and he has landed with the Cougs.
Houston's off to a remarkable start in the class of 2026. They add Riley to Keyshawn Henderson, who is the highest rated offensive recruit that they've ever had committed. And I think Riley is going to be one of these guys at 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's a guy who plays corner. He plays safety. He can play really anywhere in the secondary for Austin LBJ because he has size, 6 foot, 180. He could play. I mean, he's a thumper when need be, but he also shows off some tremendous ball skills when he gets a chance to lock down guys on that island. I saw him at the state championship game with my own two eyes, and even when he wasn't able to put his hands on people, he had a dominating performance because he's quick to the ball. He shows tremendous range. Reminds me a little bit of Caden Stearns in that regard. I was kind of surprised when writing about Riley. One, I haven't rated him yet, and neither is anybody else.
Interesting.
So he doesn't have a rating. He's an easy 3-star, top 100 guy, but I think he is in that conversation to be a top 50 recruit, which would put him in that 4-star category for us and kind of reset, the table for what a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star is here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football for the new year. If you're in the top 5, then you're a 5-star, and if you're in the top 50, you're a 4-star. So you have to make it into the top 50 to be a 4-star guy, and I think Riley's in the conversation for that. Only left to determine what other players in this class around him could push him up or down the list.
Well, and let's remember, LBJ has a pretty darn good history of producing not just big-time playmakers, but big-time playmakers in the secondary see the guy who sealed the Peach Bowl in Andrew Makuba there for Texas. Like, this is an LBJ program that has a history of producing big-time playmakers on the defensive side. And so, like, yeah, you look at a guy like Yaheem Riley, and yeah, he's unrated right now. But I think you look at him and you're like, all right, I like the measurables, I like the tape, I like the skill set, and I like the pedigree as far as where he's coming from.
Well, I don't want to – I set the table for all this to say, like, this is a big commitment for Houston.
Yes.
It shouldn't be overlooked that he doesn't have a rating yet, that this isn't like a marquee commitment, because out of the gates in 2026, Houston's recruiting on a completely different level than it has been in recent memory. And I know that Coach Fritz and his staff there, especially under the direction of his son, they're going to continue to do a tremendous job in the evaluation process. But these are guys you don't have to really evaluate all that hard. When you watch Yaheem Riley on tape, he jumps out like he's a guy that anybody would probably want to take.
He is a dude certified dude, and he is the next up for the Houston Cougars as they haul in Yaheem Riley from Austin LBJ. Let's round it all out with our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week. We're going to Willis to talk about their, perhaps you've heard of him, soon-to-be senior athlete Jermaine Bishop, two-way star. 4-star, he named it a top 8 over the holidays. Florida, Houston, Michigan, Oklahoma, Penn State, Texas, Texas A&M, and USC. Kind of a pick of the litter here. A ton of options for him. He is a guy who can play on both sides. Obviously, he starts there at Willis on both sides of the ball. And he will be, I will say this, here's a promise. He'll be playing big-time college football, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. His top 8 is a who's who. And fresh reminder, his former teammate, DJ Lagway, is on the top school in alphabetical order on that list, Florida. So maybe that's a school to keep an eye on. Oklahoma's done a tremendous job in his recruitment. He's got a couple of in-state schools on that list as well, or a few of them on that list that we should closely monitor as well. But this was a pointed selection this week. Thank you, Jermaine Bishop, for naming your top 8 because it gave me the springboard I needed.
Here we go.
This is the springboard I needed to start to talk about the 2025 Mr. Texas football.
Oh, okay.
You got to talk about Adam Schobel earlier in the broadcast. Tremendous selection for this year's honor. I think that he was well deserving of the award. But next year, could it be Jermaine Bishop? I actually had Jermaine Bishop on my short list for this year's honor. This dude is a Mr. Do-It-All. Like, he definitely impacts both sides of the ball at the 6A level, which is very rare, almost Travis Hunter-like. If I had to draw a comparison, they're not like the same height, weight, all that. But if I had to draw a comparison to Travis Hunter in Texas high school football, it would be Jermaine Bishop. Oh, feather in his cap, he's the state's best return guy.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. He's a dangerous special teams weapon as well.
Yeah.
So he's a guy you just want, like, when he gets the ball in his hands, regardless of circumstances, he's dangerous. And so keep an eye on him. Jermaine Bishop is down to his top 8. Let's you want to zoom through some news and notes here real quick?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Connor Carty, the outstanding offensive lineman from Prosper, he was committed to Texas A&M. He didn't sign. Ends up flipping to Texas Tech. Nice little get there for the Red Raiders.
Gives them one of the highest rated prospects in this cycle for the Red Raiders, and it was a nice surprise after signing day. Really how I looked at it is I thought that A&M overswelled that class. Connor Carty popped loose. Texas Tech was the benefactor of that and got an offensive lineman who I think is really good. One of the easiest things to overlook on tape for an offensive lineman is strength because they're stronger than the other guys that they play against in high school. Well, Carty has very strong hands, and he's stronger than what people give him credit for. I think that helps him see the field early in college.
Stay in the DFW Metroplex. Ennis wide receiver Grayson Harris. He was committed long time to Oklahoma. He didn't sign, ends up flipping to Mississippi State.
Yep.
Which is that's an interesting move there, and Jeff Levy making some moves.
Well, ironically, or maybe not ironically, but Levy was the guy that offered him an OU when he committed there. So, Levy was the offensive coordinator in Norman whenever Grayson Harris made his commitment. Took the head coaching job at Mississippi State. Harris was I think he was the first commitment for OU in that class. He was committed to OU for a minute. But luckily for him, had that pre-existing relationship with Levy, and I think Mississippi State and that offense there is a good fit for him. To me, Harris is one of the most overlooked guys in this class. That dude can ball. From the time he stepped on the field at Ennis as a freshman till the time he left as a senior, he was the best player on the field for them. I felt like they had guys come and go that went to college, but I mean, Harris always stands out.
I don't want to associate this with like drama, but there's intrigue around Landon Locke, the quarterback from Rockwall. He signed with Wisconsin.
Interesting story here.
Signed with Wisconsin.
Has layers.
Yes. Signed with Wisconsin, 3-star guy. We like him a lot coming out of Rockwall. Because of the coaching change at Wisconsin, he gets let out of his letter of intent, and now he's basically like reopening his recruitment.
Yep. And he's picked up offers. I think Florida International and Sam Houston State were like the offers that have come to him since he's backed out of his pledge. One thing to also keep in mind in this kind of recruitment is Locke suffered a knee injury that forced him to miss his senior year. So he has that working against him in a way on the recruiting trail. I'd like to go ahead and say, look, if you're in the market for a quarterback, this is a top 10 quarterback from the Lone Star State with a college pedigree and a cannon for an arm. As a matter of fact, he's one of the best deep ball throwers in this class. 6'3", 180 pounds with the high frame potential. I don't think Landon Locke's going to have a hard time finding a college fit.
No.
And even when he does, the question isn't going to be like, where does he fit or how does he fit on this team? Is how do we keep him here?
Yeah. And finally, we're going to one last quarterback to talk about. Sawyer Anderson from Dallas Parish Episcopal, who put up stupid numbers as a senior. The grandson of former Dave Campbell's Texas football cover boy, Donnie Anderson. He signed with Purdue, a similar situation. Signed with Purdue. Purdue makes a coaching change. He gets out of his letter of intent, but he has found a home.
Yep, committed to Arizona, signed with Arizona. I think that's a perfect fit for him. I think that offense fits him well. He gets to now learn under Braden Locke, who was the brother of Landon Locke, who transferred from Wisconsin to Arizona to lead that team next season. So there's an upperclassman there that's going to be moving on quickly. So there's an opportunity there for maybe him to play in 2026 or be get meaningful snaps in 2025. Sawyer Anderson, make no mistake, has been one of, if not the most productive high school football players I've ever watched in Texas. And sometimes we talk about, top tier players and this guy's going to this school and this guy's 5 stars and all that kind of stuff. Well, Sawyer Anderson is a tremendous football player. We should talk about more. We should celebrate this commitment more if you're Arizona, probably, because this is a ball-playing dude.
He's a ball-playing dude, and the numbers back it up. Another ball-playing dude, ball-talking dude. It's Greg Powers, our director.
Appreciate that,
here
man.
Dave
Thank
Campbell's
you.
Texas football.
Starting off the new year right.
We're
with
back.
a compliment.
We're so back. Follow on Twitter, GPowerScouts. He's fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
So we don't have any questions currently from the people, but we do want to ask the people a question.
Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about.
So, America's most beloved segment to ever exist on any sort of programming, live, tape, doesn't matter.
Like, final thoughts is we introduce it as America's second favorite segment, right?
Because everyone's favorite segment is Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Programming note: we're not doing this show on Tuesday anymore.
Right.
So, what's the move? Is it Math Monday or Math Thursday? Or is it Math Tuesday on a Thursday?
I kind of love the bit
of Math
keeping
Tuesday.
It Math Tuesday.
Me too.
On Thursday.
Just to mess with people.
Keeping the intro, because, let's be real. The intro's elite.
Oh, yeah. That's the one thing. I think we told Brooke, that our chief content officer, when she got hired, I was like, you can tell me to literally do anything because you're my boss. I will fight you aggressively if we ever have to change the Math Tuesday intro.
Here's what I think we want to do. I think we want to make it I think it's Math Tuesday. We will start doing it on Thursday.
Yeah.
And if we get enough people who come on board and they're just too confused, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's
that would be a good problem. Like, a good problem would be, we have too many new viewers who are all confused as to why this is Math Tuesday.
Yeah. The OGs will, I feel like, respect it even more if we keep it Math Tuesday.
I think we should. I think the segment needs to stay Math Tuesday. It'll just air on Thursday.
I like that we asked the people and then we decided for the people.
If you guys disagree, let us know in the comments.
But also, your opinion is wrong.
We we'll listen. We won't necessarily take it to heart, but we'll listen. But that's the way to go,
Smile
right?
and wave.
The way to go is to go with Math Tuesday. Just run it on Thursday.
I'm going to go ahead and say my segment. I'm going to get it in now.
Okay.
We talk about the games you didn't pick right.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me. I've got some things in the chamber.
Math Tuesday doesn't miss.
Coming up here, with what I got wrong. There's some the Tepper reckoning is coming. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of...
It's my favorite time of the year.
Inside information, though, is you're going to have some numbers to combat that because I'm looking back at the magazine through the Christmas break. You did pretty good.
We did all right.
We did all right.
I posted this on Twitter, and we'll talk more about this in a Math Tuesday segment some Thursday. But
See if it's proof. That's it.
But we... of the state champions, only one ranked outside of the top 7 to start the year, and that was a Vandergrift.
Okay.
which I think was a late bloomer and like a surprise, especially because they found a quarterback who looked so good in that Miles Teodecki.
I saved you with that, though, because when we did the picks, I picked Vandegrift to win the
Yeah.
region, so you can say, oh, well, Powers picked them.
Yeah. That was like the one like miss, like real big miss. There were others, but like everyone else is like, to me, here's my thought on the matter, and we'll talk more about this again down the road. Whole off season, folks. If we have you ranked, the real misses are when we have you like unranked or like 7th in your district or something like that, and you win a state championship. That's like a real swing and a miss. Like that. Go sit down. You know what I mean? And we didn't have any of those, especially in a realignment year. It's hard because you've got different matchups and stuff. So to have, I think 10 of the 12 were in the top 5. I'll take that.
Hey, and some of the coaches out there did a tremendous job turning their teams around.
Oh my gosh.
Too, heading in from the spring of 24 into the fall of 2024, there were some big time coaching jobs this year, like really good surprises.
And this is not to toot our own horn, but toot. There were a couple of number ones that we caught some flack on in the preseason. Like we had Ganado number 1 in 2A Division 1, and people were like, "Really, Ganado?" Like, sure enough, like it ended up being a little prescient. I'm not saying we were right on everything. Obviously, we weren't, but like. I'm overall pretty pleased with the way the magazine like predictions turned out. Overall, like we can always get better. We're gonna get back in the lab. We're gonna try to do better in 2025.
I've been here for a while, but this was, I would say, last year's was really like my big peek behind the scenes of like how you guys do the predictions, when they're made, how they're laid out, all that kind of stuff. Like last year was like my really like I'm in this all the way. I'm impressed. Because some of that stuff I definitely had to learn about. And this year, doing the Coach of the Year stuff, 1A, I've learned a lot about 1A football this year that I didn't know previously. Yeah. So becoming a student of the game a little bit as a result.
Yeah, you were pretty impressed with Gordon.
Yeah,
at the state championships.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. That's I guess we'll probably keep doing them this year. These shows.
Meh.
I guess we'll find out. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. For Greg Powers and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.